Right, you lot. While our young pirate is on her way to start her adventures, we need to consider who she's up against. You got to remember, pirates are the bad guys. Sea-bound criminals out there to make as much money as they can. Some of them just wanted to improve themselves in society, but then others, I'm pretty sure, loved the thrill and the excitement of the chase and the brutality of combat. Pirates are bullies. They take on easy targets, fat merchantmen, ships full of cargo that don't put up much of a fight. They want to avoid the navies of the world, especially the Royal Navy. During the golden age of piracy, around 1695 to 1725, most men on Royal Navy ships would be involved in fighting if a ship went into combat. But they also carried a detachment of soldiers whose job it was to be first into the fight. These men were from marine regiments, trained infantry that were equipped to fight on board ships. This weathered veteran is from Colonel Goring's Regiment of Marines from around 1715. He is from HMS Grafton. This Marine is dressed in a similar style to a regular infantryman of the period, with a few notable differences. He sports the famous red coat of the British Army, but instead of a cocked hat worn by land troops, he wears the new Grenadier's cap, which is made from leather and covered in fabric. It's far more practical to wear on a ship. This one still has the cipher of Queen Anne on it, as the Queen died and George I came to the throne when this man was serving abroad. His equipment is carried in canvas bags rather than leather ones, as they will not rot at sea. He carries a doglock musket and also has one of the new socket-style bayonets that can be attached to it. Ammunition for his gun is kept in the belly box on his belt, where he also wears a hanger, the short infantryman's sword. Soldiers and Marines of this period were usually recruited from the lowest levels of society. They probably had quite a lot in common with the pirates. They volunteered or were impressed into the army, usually to avoid poverty or a prison sentence. Recruiting parties scoured the country, looking for suitable candidates to join the army. And when they found a man, they would persuade him to take the king's shilling. This Marine has received a lot of training in the use of arms. How to load and fire his weapon, how it should be carried and used in hand-to-hand combat was all detailed in drill books like the Duke of Marlborough's new exercise of firelocks and bayonets. Loading a musket took some practice. The cartridges for the weapon were kept in the box of the Marine's waist. He would prime his weapon, then he would take a cartridge, bite off the top of it, pour the powder, the bullet and the cartridge down the barrel. This is all rammed home using the ramrod or scouring stick. At this point the weapon is ready to fire. He presents his piece and on the order, he gives fire. It's a bit of a myth that muskets were not very accurate. In the hands of a trained man they could be deadly. Remember, in later times Admiral Nelson was shot by a French sniper who was high up in the mast of a warship. He had to pick his target through the smoke of battle, through the sails and rigging, shooting from a moving ship at one man on the deck of another moving ship. Shot him dead too. If the enemy are looking like they are going to get close, the Marine will be instructed to fix bayonet. He then attaches his socket bayonet to the muzzle of his weapon. This new style of bayonet means that unlike the earlier plug bayonet, he can still load and fire his gun with it fixed in place. Now we have an armed pirate and an armed Marine. I wonder what will happen if we put them face to face. So there we are. Our Marine came out on top, which I should think might be a surprise to some of you. Pirates often would put up a pretty good fight, but whenever they came into contact with the Royal Navy and the Marines of King George, they usually came off worse. Right then, if you think you've got what it takes to become a pirate, or you want to take the King's shilling and join the Marines, come and find us at different English heritage sites this summer. and then we'll see who wins.